There is a common saying, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, which means beauty doesn't exist on its own. It is created by the observer. No one can escape from the power of the time, even the most beautiful thing or person in the world. On this theme, I'm going to discuss a famous poem by Saumitra Chakravarty, The Phoenix of Beauty. Sumitra Chakravarty was an alumnus of Calcutta University with an honors degree in English literature, secured a gold medal in a master's and PhD on the topic The Search for Identity in Contemporary British Fiction. She has taught English literature at the undergraduate and postgraduate levels in Bangalore and guided research students. She has presented papers in several national and international seminars, both in India and abroad. She has published a book of poems titled The Silent Cry, which was published in 2002. Her poems have already been broadcasted over All India Radio. What is phoenix? The phoenix is a mythological bird known throughout all cultures and all ages. When it dies, the bird bursts into flames and is reborn from its ashes, immortalizing it. Each life is said to be between 500 and 1,000 years. With the attractiveness of a peacock and the size of an eagle, this bird symbolizes beauty and strength. The phoenix cry is considered a beautiful sound, much like a beautiful song. Through its beauty and unusual depth, the phoenix has become a symbol of immortality, renewal, and rebirth. Now let's try to understand a connection between phoenix and beauty. The poet uses metaphor describing lotus flower and says that it is not always necessary that beautiful things are found only in higher places of life or nature. They can also take birth from the lowest places. Though lotus flower is always considered the most beautiful flower in the world, it takes birth in the slime, that is mud. Similarly, the phoenix bird takes birth from its own ashes. Associated with the sun, a phoenix obtains a new life by arising from its own ashes. Stanza 1. It was a day after the little bird opened her eyes, looked around at the byre of elders, long stemmed, dun petals trailing weary streamers across memories of yesterday when they shone in fragrant loops over the awning and twinkled in black braids. The opening stanza of the poem gives us an idea of a future. In the process of blooming flower, when the little bird takes birth, it observes both death and life. First, she observes the death of the long stem or tired petals, which were very active and shining the previous day. Hence, this bird has experienced both life and death, which is the very truth of life. This teaches us that time is powerful and can destroy beauty. What was beautiful yesterday should undergo changes and will become ugly the next day and make paths for new things. Stanza 2. She looked up at the young sun, uttered her birth cry. The pallbearers came hidden in the heap of yesterday. She rode the weary path of death, her young gaze fastened on the sun, olden now and the wiser with the wisdom that turns its gaze from the longing of young eyes for life. The desire of innocence to linger in a world with wonder long dead, beauty stretching skeletal arms to the sun whose first rays once smiled on a new world. Now the little bird has got the experience of life. To get vigor and energy, it looks at the young sun, which always shines brightly. Since her birth, she has seen the deaths in the form of how the pallbearers they carry the dead ones. That's the harsh truth of life. Now, after gaining this wisdom at her birth itself, the young bird looks at the sun and finds the sun is very wise. The sun looks so innocent that it turns towards the young petal and gives life. The bird wishes that this innocence should continue even in the world of guilt. The first ray of the sun had initially smiled on a new world, but now it no longer smiles. because the people have changed their attitude towards nature. Stanza 3. Beauty dies hard, the lotus raises its head from its bed of slime. Two flowers bloom, splash red and yellow over the dust of yesterday and torn strips of greed. White teeth flash in a soot blackened face, merry eyes dance in the hunt the dung heap unfolds. In this stanza, the poet speaks about the truth of life by the metaphor of lotus flower, which has its beauty, but it takes birth from slime. The new flowers have the shades of red and yellow colors and look very attractive. These new flowers shine more brightly than yesterday's flowers, which shows that external beauty is not permanent. So there's a switch over in the stanza. The poet moves on to human being from the flower. The images, the white teeth flash, the blackened face, the merry eyes, describe the beauty of an individual who may be black, yet they are happy. It means to say that beauty or happiness has no limitation. It can also emerge from the lowly considered things like lotus flower takes birth from its slime. The poet says here, beauty dies hard. She means to say that beauty never dies. It comes back in different forms. Hence, we can say that this poem brings the different phases of beauty and the different notions of beauty. The poem, at one level, explains the beauty of nature unfolding from the ugliest of things. On the other level, reflects the general attitude of people to disregard anything ugly. Even though the dung is ugly, the lotus flower blooms in the slime. The poem also reflects the destructive power of time. It has been well said that beauty lies in the eyes of beholder. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please subscribe my channel. You can reach me at mukeshenglish@gmail.com. Thanks once again.